talk to me, what is the difference between epoxy and polyurea?
Polyurea Polyaspartic is more durable.
Okay.
It's actually a bit flexible, so it'll move with any slight shiftness of the slab. It'll move, so there's no cracking involved.
Welcome back, Pack. This is Advil from WolfSteel Buildings and Willie, our concrete manager from WolfSteel Buildings as well. And we're gonna be talking about the finished floor of this project. Now, we had a part one, which we talked about the whole building. We did a whole tour on that, including pricing. You don't wanna miss out. Don't forget to check that video out because you're gonna understand a little bit more of why we did the finish on this floor. I'm super excited, Willie. Are you excited for this video?
I'm very excited for this video on how to explain the coatings we did on here. Very beautiful work they did.
Because I know in the part one, I know the viewers were like, hey, what's that finish? What's that finish? I know you guys were thinking about that. That's what this part two is about. We're gonna answer that. We're also gonna talk about pricing, okay? So in all our videos now, we're gonna be talking about pricing because at the end of the day, I hope that in this video, what you take away is that you're understanding the process, you're understanding the pricing, the budgets. Whether you're buying from us or you're buying somewhere else, it doesn't matter. The whole point is for you to have an amazing metal building experience, which is what we focus on, especially in this YouTube channel. Of course, we're trying to sell WolfSteel Buildings. That's how we're here. So we can bring food to the table as well and survive and be here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get this one going. Alrighty, Pack, so let's get this started, okay? So Willie, in the first place, if you saw the part one, you understand there's so much to this building. Like it's kind of like a maze. It's really cool. Like you come here and you're hanging out, and it's kind of like a maze. We got an open section, which is like more for like grilling out, parking your vehicles. And then we got enclosed sections where you can tell he's gonna be building up things and making this like a workshop section, a little bit more of a storage. I know he said this is where all my junk goes, which we all have junk. I have junk all too. And then over here is like a little nice, maybe storage room or I mean, I'm not sure, but he's got some roughings going on there. So we did finish on his floor. Why would someone consider to do finish on a floor, like a finish on it after, you know, we do, you know, our concrete work?
Right, so like you mentioned right now, you know, this little area is for, you know, you might park some vehicles or grill out.
Yeah.
And you might have some of the vehicles spill some oil. You're grilling out, having, you know, dinner with your family, you spill some soda or, you know, anything. Yeah. And what that's gonna do is gonna soak up into the concrete and absorb and leave a stain, which is gonna be really hard to remove. So what we did here was a grind and seal.
Before we talk about like what we did here, we're gonna talk about the process, we're gonna talk about the price, all of that. I wanna go step by step. I'm just remembering, man, cause like 4 or 5 years ago, it was like 3, 4, or 5 years ago, we had a scissor lift equipment while we were building the building. And like it was leaking oil, and like overnight it's just like just one night.
Yeah.
And like we just didn't know about it, right? So that happens. This is construction. A lot of things can happen, okay? So that might happen to clients, especially like tire marks and all that kind of stuff, right? Protecting your floor, your concrete is important because concrete is an absorbent at the end of the day. It's still like a sponge in a way.
Correct. It's like a sponge, so it's actually gonna penetrate into the concrete and absorb it, and you know, just give you hell trying to remove any kind of stain, especially oil.
Yeah, I remember that oil. I mean, it wasn't a big, but it was like this, and like I spent like a long time.
Yeah.
Trying to clean it off. Man, yeah, that makes sense. So here, this is what we're trying to protect here. And I know I'm making it, but I'm trying to relate to an audience, but I understand why we're doing it. But at the end of the day, you know, the whole point of how I'm asking is because I'm asking more as a client, right?
Correct.
As a user. And that's what I try to do in this channel, is really to help the audience answer their questions. So that's why I'm gonna ask these questions, and sometimes I might just go down more in the deeper level, right? So really to protect it, this is the outside portion. Talk to me. You said we did a grind and seal. What is that, and what is the process?
So a grind and seal is going to be a exposed aggregate coating with a shine to it.
Okay.
But the process to making this happen was we used these really big walk-behind grinders.
Grinders? Okay.
Yeah, to grind up, get really good into the concrete and
Open
open
up
up all the pores and expose some of this aggregate. As you can see here, some of this aggregate is exposed. That means the pores are open. And around the edges, we did it with a hand grinder, just because it's hard to get into those little
with the
crevices
machines
and corners. Yeah, with the machines.
We expose it, and that's when we seal it afterwards?
Yeah, correct. That's when we seal it, and then that way the seal, like we mentioned before, anything will penetrate into the concrete and soak in. So we want that sealer to soak in there as much as possible, as low as possible into the concrete. That'll make it last longer.
Last longer.
Correct.
That makes sense. So those machines, those have a huge hose. Those are extracting all the dust particles to try to keep it as clean as possible.
Right, yeah. They have a vacuum system attached to them.
Yeah.
So to keep the dust at a minimum, even though, we can't, construction, like you mentioned, there's going to be dust everywhere, but we minimize that by hooking up shop vacs to it.
So like this is grind and seal. This is like, so I know there's polished concrete, which we do also offer, but it's on the lower level basically.
Right, it's
polished
more affordable.
Concrete is like way more layers of that, or more.
Yeah, way more of a longer process with grinding. There's different types of blades added each time you pass the grinder on, levels. There's a whole different system to it.
Which makes it shine, right? But
Correct.
This one also gives it a really nice shine. I really love the aggregate that is being seen here. Because we did a nice broom finish, then we came back and we grinded that out, and now we did a acrylic finish at the end. I do feel, because this is gonna get water, right?
Yeah.
So a client can actually slip if it doesn't have a, resistant.
Yeah. Right, so any sealer, especially the acrylic sealer, it's gonna be pretty slippery.
Okay.
So what we do is we add a non-slip grit to it. It's a very fine powder, almost like sand, but just some powder to the mix, and then you can feel that it has a little bit of some grip on there.
I can feel it, man.
Yeah, and that's
it's hard to
for
cut
safety.
my hand. No, I'm just kidding.
It's for safety purposes, so you won't slip if it gets wet, obviously, because it's outdoor.
Obviously, concrete can have hairline cracks, and I'm seeing one right here. I can see it, but I can hardly see it, and we're gonna get really up close. So when we grind it, we expose a little bit more of the crack, and then we seal it, but it actually looks really clean, man.
Yeah,
it looks way better than if it was just concrete.
So hairline cracks, since we grind down on the concrete, we're actually lowering the depth of the hairline crack.
That makes sense.
So when we seal it over, it actually stops it from spreading if it hasn't spread its full amount yet.
That makes a lot of sense, because hairline cracks are on the top layer. They're not necessarily structural cracks, which structural cracks are the ones that are deep and basically breaking apart the foundation. So as long as it's hairline cracks, that makes sense. You're just grinding it basically down. You actually minimize it, but then you seal it. And honestly, it's harder to see. So I think it's a great way to also cover hairline cracks. That's just my opinion from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about epoxy, but this is not epoxy. This is Polyurea Epoxy, which is Polyaspartic epoxy system, or flake system. It's a Polyaspartic flake system, Polyurea, okay?
Correct.
Because it's not epoxy. I'm trying to get used to the fact that it's not, but they look the same, okay? But they're not. But before we get there, because we use polyurethane for the finish, this is acrylic.
Correct.
Why is acrylic used here, as opposed to maybe polyurethane as a sealant, as a full finish?
So we use acrylic sealer on any outdoor pad or coating.
Yeah.
Just because the acrylic sealer is more, so you're gonna be exposed to all kinds of weather outdoor, obviously, and
the sun beats on
it. The sun beats on it. Just outdoor activities, that might damage it.
Yeah.
Anything that can
right
damage
now,
it.
you can see this building was finished a while back, and you got a lot of dust, you got a lot of dirt, I'm sure the client's been using it, driving over it, et cetera, et cetera.
More than likely going to be a little bit more aggressive on the cleaning.
Yeah.
Outdoor than indoor.
Oh, like power washing and stuff?
So with acrylic, it's easier to fix. All you have to do, if you wash it off, the acrylic sealer starts fading away or anything, all you got to do is just clean it up, blow dry it, and then just clean it up and reseal it. Simple as that. Or if there's some type of moisture that got underneath the sealer, All you got to do is get a chemical called xylene, which is a paint thinner, and that'll just revive it. And while it's revived, all the moisture can escape, and then it'll just seal again.
Now, let's come in the inside. Now we're in where you're looking at a beautiful polyurea flake system, polyaspartic flake system, okay? This looks very much like epoxy.
Right.
But it's not, right?
No, it's not epoxy. It is a polyurea polyaspartic flake system.
So talk to me. This is for the inside. This is highly recommended for inside enclosed structures.
Right. We can actually use the polyurea outdoor as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But here we did it for this one enclosed. Now talk to me. What is the difference between epoxy and polyurea?
Polyurea polyaspartic is more durable.
Okay.
It's actually a bit flexible. So it'll move with any slight shiftness of the slab. It'll move, so there's no cracking involved.
Especially because foundations will move, and especially here in Texas, I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, the soils are crazy here.
It's just crazy here. Okay, especially from Dallas forward all the way down to Houston area, part 2 over to Tyler area.
Got that black gumbo.
Yeah, the black what?
Gumbo.
Black gumbo. That's what they call it. Basically a lot of expansion and contraction, you know, with moisture. But anyways, that creates movement. Therefore, you want a flooring system that flexes.
Yeah, that's flexible. Has a little bit of flexibility in there. And also the impact resistance is way more higher than regular epoxy.
Because the epoxy is where it can crack.
Yeah, it's really stiff. So it's really stiff, and over time it brittles. To where it can crack or flake off.
And it start flaking off.
Yeah, it can start flaking off. Now, there's another very important detail in the difference between the two, which is the UV protection. So from the sunlight, if we take a look over here.
Yeah. So if the light was shining on it, like right now, for a couple of years, which is gonna happen every year.
Right.
Right now, with polyaspartic or polyurea, it will basically, you won't see any like green fading of it.
No fading, nothing,
UV
absolutely nothing.
Resistant.
Yeah, it's UV resistant. Sunlight won't damage any of it, and especially with these, our metal buildings, most of them have big roll-up doors or garage doors.
Windows.
Windows, you got a lot of sunlight coming in, so UV resistant versus epoxy. Within 1 year, you'll start seeing it yellow, and there's like let's say the shape of whatever your door is that brings in the sunlight, that area is all going to be yellow, and it'll actually weaken it as well.
That makes sense. That's why, polyurea flake system, which is the polyaspartic flake system, has longer warranty than typical epoxy. I think epoxy has like 5 years. This is 15 years.
Right, it's 15 years because it's a really, really, really good product, and it's made for durability, and as you can see, for aesthetic.
Now, let's talk about colors aesthetics, and then we'll talk about pricing. For colors, I know this is a flake system, specifically. So flake systems, you can basically mix any colors in percentages, et cetera, right?
Right, you can pick out any type of color, design your own color, do one solid, pick up to, I believe it was 3 to 5 different color flakes in your flake system color. So you can actually even dye the polyurea that's underneath, the coating that's underneath the flake system.
Okay.
You can actually dye it to, let's say you wanted an all black system.
And
you want to dye it black, that way, and then
behind it you can see it.
Because then you're able to see a little bit of it.
Oh, so much customization there. That's that part, right? So keep that in mind, because right here what you're seeing is a little bit of a gray with some dark black spots or dark gray spots. And we're about to enter, because our client said for his small storage rooms, he's got something a little bit more different. You want to check that out?
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. Check this out. So you can see here, he's got a little bit more whites here, so it looks a little bit more on the whiter, more lighter.
Right.
I know there was one of our clients in the Houston area, he had a ice gray spray foam, and then he got check that video out, by the way. It went very viral. People loved it. That one is really, really beautiful too.
Yeah, it brings out a whole different look to your building. Makes it look super complete and beautiful, matching the outdoor of it. You already got a very cool looking building. You know, you get your floor done, you match everything inside, outside.
Let's talk about price. So I know everybody wants to know, well, you know, can it fit the budget, right?
Yeah, right.
Can it fit the budget? So grind and seal on the exterior, about what is the price that is ranging about for that?
So the grind and seal runs about $2.50 all the way up to $4.
Okay.
Depending on the square footage and what type of finish you have. Because another thing I want to mention, that if you do have a broom finish and you want to grind and seal or any type of coating, because of the process, one of the main process to getting a coating is grinding, and a broom finish is always going to be easier to grind versus a trowel finish, because trowel finish is so tight and sealed up already that it's really hard to open up those pores like we mentioned earlier.
So that's where the range of price goes, and also, I mean, the more square footage, the less the cost. Kind of like mine in bulk, right? So
right,
the less the cost, right? That's the same thing for Polyurea Polyaspartic. Flake system is about the same as far as like what the price can range. What is the price ranging for this system?
So for the Polyurea Polyaspartic flake systems, prices can range from $7 all the way to $9 a square foot.
Okay.
Obviously, like you mentioned, we would lower the square footage price, you know, the bigger it gets.
The bigger it gets. Mm-hmm. Now, there was one thing we didn't talk about, and I forgot to ask. The way we do this system, the prep work is actually the most important part.
Right.
The prep work. And I know you talked a little bit about that, but talk to me. What is the process for installing this Polyaspartic Polyurea flake system?
So it's mostly all the coatings are pretty much start off with grinding.
Okay.
So grinding is like the biggest, most important part of any coating you get, because opening up those pores is the main goal you want to do to make your coatings last longer.
It's kind of like our skin, right? So our skin, if you're putting like lotion, you don't want to just go like this. You really have to like this, so that way it can really soak in. So it's the same thing. We're basically taking off the skin of the concrete floor, of the floor slab, to allow for the penetration of the base. Right?
Yes, correct. That way it can stick to the concrete slab better and last you way longer.
Way longer.
Yeah, because there's contractors out there that will, you know, just come in and just throw
the base up top.
The base, throw some flake, and let's go. And it starts crumbling away within less than a year.
So if you're getting it, biggest thing that, you know, is very important is, will they grind your concrete? Will they take that top layer off, expose it, open up the pores, so that way they can lay down that base? When does this process happen of finishing? Is this like in the beginning and the finish? When does this usually happen, Willie?
So this will happen until your building is complete.
Okay.
And even, till the spray foam is done.
It's done.
Just because we want to be in here at the last step. That way we can get in every single edge of it and, have it super clean on the edge.
Okay.
And we don't want, we want the best curing time for it. So we don't want, no more machinery or equipment, running all over it.
So we basically seal everything. Like when we prep it, we cover everything around it, right?
Yeah, we cover everything to protect, whatever is here.
Especially because if we would do it before spray foam, you could get some dust, and then before you spray foam, you have to clean the walls too.
Right, and then also you get a little bit of spray foam on the floor. We're grinding it, so that's gone.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right.
Although with our spray foam team, we're very clear, everything has to be sealed, but sometimes it can happen where you got, and that seals it. Right. Great point, great point. Guys, I hope that this video gave you an idea of if it's something you're looking for, something that you're wanting to really just make your building pop out more. I know the buildings already pop out, by the way, but with a nice floor finish, let us know. We're here to help. And aside from that, Willie, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're all good. And you guys let us know if you want any quotes on any of these coatings. More than welcome to help you guys out.
Perfect. And then also, I know you handle anything with the concrete work, right? So that is something that if you are doing a project with us, or you've been speaking with Willie on the phone, that's who he is. That's the man right there. Get to know him. Willie, I like the personal part of that. Talk to me about you, man. Where were you raised, and like talk to me about a little bit of how you got into concrete.
So I'm born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, I started concrete about 10 years ago.
Wow.
My dad is actually in the concrete business.
Yeah.
So I learned, pretty much everything from him.
Okay.
One day I just picked up the phone and I'm like, hey, Dad, you got you need an extra guy.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go work in construction. He's like, I don't think you're ready, but let's go. He didn't really trust me, but
so he's been in the concrete business for a long time.
yeah, for about 30 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I met him, but
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's actually really known in the DFW area. So
Dang.
yeah,
That's
But
awesome.
I love concrete. I have so much passion for it.
Yeah.
This is what I was made for.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me. I was raised, my parents in the metal building industry. Our family connections are all metal building industry, and then I just kind of have the passion for it. But I think I have more passion for building and making things come to life from paper. But I just happen to be in the metal building. But you actually make me passionate about concrete, man. So thank you again.
Hey, no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Aside from that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're here to help. And even if you don't get it with us, if we can answer some questions, get you in the right direction, because sometimes maybe this is not in the budget at that moment and you want to do it later on, but we can help prepare or get you more information to help about that process, and so you can have an amazing experience with your metal building project. So aside from that, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Pack! Stay up to date with everything we're up to by checking out our social media. You can find us at WolfSteel Buildings for behind the scenes actions. We share our latest projects, updates on what the team is working on, and all the exciting progress happening in real time. Don't miss out on the action and give us a follow.